Can get started. So thank you everybody for joining us for our little mini workshop with Greyback Club. Hosts for today are founders Alicia and Alyssa. And Greyback Club is based in SF. They create and curate self-care experiences through monthly pop-up events, seasonal retreats, and ritual products. We are recording today's session. I'll post it on Battery TV afterwards. And with that, I will hand it over to our lovely hosts. Welcome.
That sounds great. Hi, everyone. So we are going to get right into it. I know everyone has a busy day, so we want this to be a moment of pause. We're going to start with, you can go, camera on, camera off. We're going to do a meditation. But first, I want you to take a moment and look around your environment and see how you can make it 10% more relaxing. So for Alyssa and I, it's always just lighting a candle. So if you do have a candle nearby, we're going to give you about a minute to adjust yourself to get a little more comfortable and present. Putting your phone in another room, whatever will help. All right, let's do it. So find yourself in a comfortable seat. And when you're there, I want you to close your eyes. Have both feet on the ground. And bring the palms of your hands, have them rest on your thighs. We're going to take a couple big belly breaths. So our goal right now is just to get rid of any tension that we're holding on to that we no longer need. If it's in your belly, in your shoulders, we're going to slowly just go through the body and melt the tension away. So focus first on your belly. You're going to take a deep breath in, breathe through your nose. Have your belly get large, hold on. And when you exhale, release that breath. And let's have you breathe in and out of your nose. Let's do 3 rounds of breath. And inhale, your belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And 2 more rounds on your own. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. 1 more. Now bring your attention up to your chest and just notice the quality of your breath. So notice if your heart is racing. Notice if your mind has wandered. Be aware of it, no judgment, come back. This time's for you. So again, notice your chest and just notice the quality of that breath. What is your breathing like? And let's move on. So bring your attention to the back of your neck and first focus on the right side of your neck. So let's slowly kind of carve out that tension in the right shoulder. So from the right side of your neck. And actually, let's start with your eyes closed. Bring your left hand up to your head so you can stretch out. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And just try to really get connected to any tightness there. And take a deep breath in and out. Notice if you can feel your right shoulder drop just a little bit. Let's give it a couple more moments. Take another deep breath in and out. Notice it drop just a little more. And 1 more deep breath in. And deep breath out. Release that right shoulder. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your chin to your chest. Release that left hand. And do a couple of shoulder rolls. Take a deep breath in. and out. Notice if your right shoulder, your right neck feels any looser. And again, check in where your mind is. Notice if it's traveled away. No judgment. Come back. It's normal. No judgment. Come back. Now let's focus on the left side. Notice that left side of your neck. And again, bring your right hand to the left side of your head and slowly bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And notice that tightness, that inherent tightness on your left side, and see where you can release it. Notice your mind. Notice if you're here, if you've traveled somewhere else. Take a deep breath in and come back. And just get really curious. A story might start in your head of why there's tension. Just be aware of it and drop it. Just get curious on the actual sensation. And give yourself another moment. Take a deep breath in and out. And let's do one more deep breath in and out. And with your eyes closed, bring your chin down to your chest and bring both hands to kind of rest behind your neck and just really let your neck hang. And bring your head up with your eyes closed. Bring your hands back and hold them on your belly. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, your belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. One more deep breath in, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And notice if when you take those deep breaths in, if it's your chest rising or if it's your stomach rising, you want to practice taking belly breaths. So it helps, it's diaphragmatic breathing. So it helps to instantly calm your nervous system and you get more oxygen. Let's try one more. Take a deep breath in, your belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And bring your palms of your hands to rest in your thighs again. Check in with both shoulders. Bring your shoulders back and down. Just check your posture. Have an upright and energized spine. And slowly walk your attention down your right shoulder to your right elbow. And see if you can start to feel a little heavy in that arm. Notice your right forearm and see if you can have it feel weighted, like it's slowly weighting itself down to touch your thigh. You feel a little heavier on the right side. Take another deep breath in and out. And on your right forearm, notice your right wrist. Notice if there's any tightness, any tension, any tingling. Bring your attention to the top of your right hand and notice if you can get quiet enough to feel the air in between your fingers. Notice if there's any tingling sensation that you can feel in between the right hand fingers. And now focus on your palm that's touching your thigh. Is there any heat that you feel from it resting on your thigh? And go back to your forearm. Again, have it feel really heavy. Take a deep breath in and out. Really let that entire right arm hang. Notice your mind. Notice if you traveled somewhere. Be aware of it. No judgment. Come back. And checking in on your left shoulder. First, notice if it feels any different than the right. And slowly trickle your attention down your left shoulder to your left elbow. Notice the left forearm. Start to release any tension. Let go of anything you don't need to hold on to. Any tightness. Take a deep breath in and out. Really release, gripping, holding. Notice that left forearm. Take another deep breath in and out. If your mind's wander, be aware of it. No judgment. Come back. Notice your left wrist. Notice if there's any tightness there from being on the computer. Just be aware of it. Notice the hand. So notice the palm of your left hand. Notice if there's any sensation you can feel and try to name it. If it's heat, tingling, whatever that is. The more you can feel sensation in your body and connect to that, the quicker you can get out of the stories of your mind. It's a good practice to get into. Now, notice your left hand and the space in between those fingers. Notice if you can get really quiet, really still to feel the air just for a second. Take a deep breath in and out. Notice if you feel the air in between your thumb and your pointer finger, from your pointer finger to your middle finger. Any coldness that comes from your middle finger to your ring finger, from your ring finger to your pinky. And bring your attention back to your forearm on the left side and take another breath in and out. Really release that left arm, any tension, any tightness, let go of it. And slowly bring your attention back to your shoulders. Notice your posture. Do a couple of big shoulder rolls. Take a deep breath in, your shoulders rise. Exhale, shoulders release. And slowly wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes.
Thank you,
All
Alicia.
right.
So what we like to do for micro moments is Alicia and I like to always start with a meditation, like we just did, hopefully grounded you into this next about 15 minutes. We're going to lose a little bit of your creative mind. You won't have to get on camera if you don't want to. You don't have to share. This is really time for you right now. But Alicia and I, we run self-care events with the battery and independently. And what we found is the one we did most recently was around journaling. Some of you might have a journaling practice that you already participated in today. Personally, for me, it wasn't something that I could attach to for a really long time until I realized that it doesn't have to be one, a diary, two, it also is very therapeutic to just get whatever's in your brain out, just like a to-do list is sometimes when you just write it down and you have it in front of you and you realize like, okay, I get that little dopamine hit that you're going to get it done. But we're going to answer just a few questions. I'll share this in the chat as well, because this is something we call a brain dump that I do in the morning, if I remember to do it in the morning, but definitely at night. But especially if you're going through something that you're going through an issue or you want a solution to something and all you're thinking is not getting it done, sometimes it's good to like take a step back, maybe journal out those thoughts that you have, or even meditate on it, spending a couple minutes there just to like clear your mind. So I'm going to also play some music as we go through, and something to remind yourself, and I know Alicia did this in our meditation, is this is no judgment. So no, make a promise to yourself right now that if you're with the journaling that you're going to do, even if it's just freehand, you write down a couple of things, even if it's just a couple of words, that you're not going to judge yourself and that nobody else will see this journal as if nobody was going to read it ever. And since we're getting into Thursday, we're going to get into almost the weekend. But just to start is, how do I feel right now? And I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to answer that on a piece of paper. You can, of course, use the computer, but I find that you really get into the practice if you put pen to paper, pencil to paper. So again, the question is, how do I feel in this moment? And you can keep going if you would like, but the next question is, what do I need? And again, you can use just a handful of words, or you can actually journal out exactly what you need today in this moment. The next question is going to be, what's on my mind? I really like to use, when I use this one, what's on my mind, I like to usually jot down a lot of words. So you can use, again, it can be words, sentences, it's totally your discretion. The next question is there a fear that's holding me back right now? Is there a fear that's holding me back right now? The next question, is there an anxiety that keeps on showing up for me? Is there an anxiety that keeps on showing up for me? Let me give you two more questions. What in your life today has sparked joy? Who has sparked joy in your life today? And if you haven't felt joy today, what can you do later on today that you can find a moment of joy just for you? So again, something or someone that has sparked joy for you. And if you have not had that moment of joy, even when I think about joy, I think about pouring my coffee in the morning into my favorite cup. That moment is joyful to me because of the coffee. It can be something very, very small. And the last question is, how can I feel better? Not good, not the best, not anything other than just better. How can I feel better? Okay. So we did a workshop a few months ago with a woman named Laura Rubin. Let me just turn this down. From All Is Well Creative. And something she taught me, which I find really fascinating, and I'm going to teach you guys now, is to take a look at everything you've written down. Just glance at it, no judgment. And she calls these heat words. And so what she had us do was take a look and just notice themes. Just start circling words that just means that stand out for you, that provoke an emotion for you. And you'll find, I'm going to leave you for a minute or so to just all up reflect on your writing and just words that stand out for you. And I'll tell you what we'll do with them in just a moment. Alicia, do you want to add anything about for the heat words? Just, yeah, ones that show emotion, like anything that you might feel emotionally tied to or that you're seeing come up a lot. So sometimes when you write it down, you'll see the same word coming up. That's one you want to circle.
And also ones that you look at and you might be adverse to, that you don't want to attach to, you want to get away from. Anything that has some sort of emotion, either good or bad, but a little more extreme than indifference.
Once you're done circling the words, what was cool for me and something we're going to leave you with today is to take those words and compile them at the bottom and just look at them and use them for journal prompts for the week. So if something's showing up for you, maybe it's a fear around work, there's something that maybe your child's name is on there. It could be that you realize that you might need to get in nature based off of what you had written down. But it's a great time to take that moment to reflect and then utilize some of those words for journal prompts for the week, because they just came from you. So I know it's something different. If you've never tried this before, it was new for me. But I also, it was really helpful to be able to prompt myself during the next week. From today till the next Thursday, those will be your prompts for the week. And again, the journal, the prompts we went through in the beginning, there's a handful of those questions. Those can even be a journal session that you have that can take a total of a minute, right? Just to get it out, maybe during your lunch hour, maybe it's right at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just to get it out of your head. And just remember, by doing that, you're really just prioritizing yourself so that you can be better at whatever you're about to do.
And a couple things, if you're in front of the computer all day and you want this break, but it doesn't rejuvenate you, go for a walk and ask yourself those questions and write it in your phone. And also, when you do journal on these words, it's helpful to think sometimes of what you might tell a friend, because we have our own stories that we sometimes get stuck behind. So if you can journal in a way where you're as if you're talking to a good friend yourself, you might be a little more compassionate and see things in a different way.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope that it was just a moment, 30 minutes that you could get out of your own head. Alicia and I will share, we have Alicia has a number of meditations on our Greyback website. They're free, that you're able to use at any time, including a 90-second meditation, because sometimes we just need 90 seconds to get out of our head and that's all we have. We also have an amazing candle that we partnered with a female founder in Los Angeles. It's called the Slow Down Candle. It's really beautiful and it helps to remind you to slow down, but the scent is really beautiful as well. So again, it's all about setting that space, even if that space is taking a moment, lighting a candle, doing a minute brain dump. And thank you to the Battery as well for always hosting such wonderful people. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.